USPS says if you get your stuff in today, they can get it to your destination in time for Christmas. They still have more options, though. The deadline for that first-class mail is the 17th, Priority Mail the 18th, and Priority Mail Express December 23rd, but that does cost you. Today is also a key day if you're shipping with FedEx Ground Services. They have a number of other deadlines coming up in the next week and a half as well. The last one is December 24th, Christmas Eve. They have same-day delivery. Check their website for other details. And UPS says December 21st is the cutoff for their 3-day select service when shipping in the U.S., December 22nd for 2-day air delivery, and 23rd for next day. New this morning, a Red Lake, Minnesota father and son are safe after rescued from an ice floe. Police responded to the situation yesterday and found 2 anglers who went on the ice that then drifted from the shore, stranding them. 62-year-old David Berard and 44-year-old Wilfred Berard were not hurt. It is now 6:52 on this Wednesday morning. Right now, if you're waking up and walking outside, you might notice some fog. Other than that, hard to complain about this morning, Lisa.
Yeah, the temperatures feel pretty good when you step outside. It's just not going to be so nice on that road surface or your visibility here this morning to start off the day today in some areas. And you just saw here that we've got some very low visibility in places in the southeastern viewing area. That's where we're looking at temperatures that are the warmest. We just had a little cloud cover move on, so we've just cleared out here, and that's allowed our temperatures to drop and our fog to form. We're looking at 0 for our visibility in Wahpeton, and in Wadena we're at 0 for visibility too. So 2 areas where we're at no visibility right now, and in between Quarter Mile, Elbow Lake, Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, Park Rapids, all the way up to Bemidji, visibility is at a quarter mile there. And this is just updated, so these are areas where it's just worsened. So I'm hoping we'll start to see this come up, but we may have to wait until we see that sun come up and start to bring us some conditions that will help to scatter out that fog. But again, starting off with some fog there. Grafton is at 1.5 miles visibility, and Grand Forks at 3 miles. So there are other places in the valley struggling a little bit too. Looks like Candu might have some trouble as well up by Rock Lake. So here's one of our views right now. Again, it's not much of one. This is our live sky cam at the Dakota Magic Casino down in the Southern Valley, right where we have that dense fog, and it's tough to see here. We can see the lights a little bit in the parking lot. This is our shot of the flags that you might would have recognized if you saw them, but they are blocked by that fog. Here's a look at our conditions. Fargo's at 37 degrees, very mild. Into eastern parts of North Dakota, especially northeastern North Dakota, temperatures have dropped below freezing. There's some frost on some of the roadways in the eastern part of the state, so we'll have to watch out for that this morning too. 26 degrees, 32 in Thief River Falls, it's 35 in Bemidji, and a very warm 39 in Fergus Falls. And more than half of that here in Devil's Lake, where we're at 18 degrees. So it depends on where you are in the valley, what type of temperatures you are experiencing this morning. So conditions have been on the quiet side. We're going to head back to our radar here. You can see that we've got some quieter weather right now, and that will continue as we make our way through the morning hours, but it does start to change as we head into the afternoon. So now let's take a look at that bus stop planner. We've got some fog this morning for some of us, temperatures that are mild. Again, it depends on where you are. In Fargo, mid-30s. And then this afternoon, as early as 3 o'clock, as we're getting on the bus, we could have in the Southern Valley some of that precipitation start up. We're looking at the potential for some rain showers, some thunder showers in the east potentially, and some snow in the west. So it's just going to get messy here heading into tonight. Eventually, everything does change over to snow. Winter weather advisories takes effect tonight for everywhere in the valley. These teal colors here, that's where we've got some wind alerts going on, and we will likely have to deal with that wind regardless of how much snow we see here. But here's a look at our snowfall potential. Everywhere in the valley, we've got chances for snow. A lot of us in that 1 to 3 inch range. Right now, it looks like the heavier snowfall, 6+ will be in the east, and that may be on top of some areas where we have a little bit of ice too from tonight before we see that changeover. So messy situation is the bottom line, and much, much colder. We'll have some wind chill issues, temperatures into the teens, and some blowing snow for tomorrow morning's commute that may cause some real issues. So again, be careful, everybody, and make sure you're paying attention over the next couple of days.
Yeah, good advice, Lisa. Thank you. Fargo police say a threat made by a Davies High School student is not credible. Principal Troy Cody says the student made a threatening comment while riding the bus home on Monday. And other students told the school resource officer about it the next day. School administrators and Fargo PD then investigated and determined the threat poses no danger. A real-life Grinch is putting a damper on one woman's Christmas spirit. She says someone stole the gifts under her tree on Monday when she left her apartment for about 10 minutes to walk her service dog. They took her wallet as well, and her son, who was visiting from Saudi Arabia, had just walked away to use the bathroom right before that burglar struck, and they had no clue that it was even happening.
That scares me the most. What if he would have came out when they were here? What would have happened to him? My nerves are just nuts. I mean, we've been violated. They came into our home.
Maxwell says police were able to get surveillance footage of the suspect, but last we heard they have not yet identified that person. Police are still trying to figure out who the man is who was hit by a car this week in South Fargo, and they now want your help. That person is fighting life-threatening injuries after being hit Monday night at the intersection of 25th Street and 13th Avenue South. Police say the driver had a green light and the victim walked out in front of that car. The North Dakota Highway Patrol has released a picture of a tattoo the man has, hoping that someone will recognize it and ID the victim. Picture of it on your screen right now. They say the man appears to be white or Native American, 30 to 45 years old, and about 5'10 to 6'2", also 200 to 240 pounds, with salt and pepper hair and a receding hairline. Contact Fargo Police or the Highway Patrol if you have any information about this. Police and federal authorities this morning are still trying to track down a high-risk sex offender who walked away from a halfway house in North Fargo Monday night. Police say 21-year-old Christopher Morrison is on federal probation with active warrants out of Morton County, North Dakota. The sex offender registry shows that he is convicted of sexually abusing a 14-year-old. Call 911 right away if you know where he is. Police are trying to ID a man who broke into the downtown Moorhead KFC restaurant early last Wednesday morning. It happened around 5:30 that morning when they say this guy on your screen forced his way in through a window. He got away with some cash. If you recognize him or have any information on the burglary, call Moorhead Police. The superintendent of Ulen-Hitterdal Public Schools is facing criminal charges after police say he was caught on camera inside another school. Tri-County school officials in Carlstead, Minnesota, filed a report in October saying that their former superintendent, 39-year-old Ryan Barron, had illegally went into the school early in the morning. Court documents say Barron admitted to going into the school unlawfully, but they don't know why. Barron took over at Ulen-Hitterdal at the beginning of this school year after stepping down as Carlstead's principal and superintendent last spring. Let's get the answer now to that question of the morning on Facebook. Our question, this happens more in the 2 weeks before Christmas than any other time of the year. The answer, couples break up. Remember, you can play along every day. The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. More live up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW. Have a good Wednesday, everyone.